Hey guys, just a little disclaimer before the video starts. A couple times you'll be able to hear my headset tell me that the battery is low. I didn't realize you'd be able to hear it inside the video. I apologize for that. Hope you enjoy the video. Yo, what is going on, Nitrosites? It is your boy, the Nitro General here, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys, and welcome to Season 4 of the NPBA. I am so excited, guys, to be back at the NPBA and back to recording videos for you guys. So if you guys are excited for the return of the Draft League, make sure you guys are subscribed with your notifications on, and make sure you leave a like down below. Lets me know that you guys enjoy the content. Let YouTube know you guys enjoy the content, all that good stuff. Also, leave me a comment down below of what you guys think of the team that we drafted. I personally think it's a pretty good team. I'm excited to show off all the Pokemon that we did, and I'm really excited. But without further ado, guys, I just really want to get into this, so I don't really want to waste too much of your guys' time. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna try to get at least one. We're gonna try to at least get one of these battles out a week, which is really cool. So if you guys are excited for each of these battles, make sure you guys have your notifications on so you do not miss when they post, hopefully every Wednesday. But yeah, so if you guys don't know what the NPBA is, a quick recap. The NPBA is the Nitro Pokemon Battle Academy. It is a draft league that I myself created a while back because of the fact that I could not find a draft league to join at the time. So what I did is I created my own draft league with my own rules, all that good stuff. This is the 4th season. If you guys do want to check out the other seasons, you can down below. We actually won season 2, so that's pretty cool if you guys do want to go check that out. But this season is really cool. I managed to create a really cool community with a bunch of really cool people here in Discord that all have competed in prior seasons. So yeah, it's really awesome, and I just want to take the time to say thanks to anybody who's actually participating in the draft league that are watching. It means a lot that you guys are taking time out of your day to play on my stupid little league. I think it's really awesome and met a lot of cool people through this server. So in this league in general. So with all that out of the way, let's get right into it. So we had overall the 3rd pick in the draft, which was really good because at the end of the day, that allowed us to have one of the first dibs on a tier 1. However, that also made it so that it goes, since it was a snake draft, it goes from 1 to 12 and 12 to 1, meaning an entire round had already went by the time it got back to us. So we did not have a very good pick of the best tier 2s that pretty much a lot of people picked right after their tier 1s. There's no specific order, so some people went first. One guy ended up picking Jumpluff as his first pick of the entire draft as a tier 4, which is kind of crazy, but I say that now and then watch us fight him later in the season and get demolished by Jumpluff. So, which kind of demolishes at least the first Pokemon that we picked. So let's hope that doesn't happen. So. But yeah, so like I said, we had the 3rd overall pick, and I really wanted to get a tier 1. I had a lot of cool tier 1s planned out. I was looking at Pokemon like Chi-Yu, I was looking at Pokemon like Chien-Pao. Chi-Yu actually went first in the draft, although I really hadn't had my heart set on it. I had my heart set on one Pokemon specifically. Luckily, like I said, Chi-Yu went first pick, and then second pick was actually Goldango, which honestly, I didn't really think about when building the team because there was one specific tier 1 that I wanted, and we actually did get it. It is currently my favorite Pokemon, new Pokemon released in Gen 9, and actually currently it's actually moving up to be one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, and definitely one of my favorite to use in competitive, and honestly is actually banned in competitive in Siggles right now, in OU on Showdown. And that is our boy, Willie the Palafin. I was really excited that we got this thing. This thing is insane. I love this Pokemon. I am still a little sad that like its regular form is not that much different than from Finizen, except for the fact that it has a heart. I really like its shiny. I really think it's really cool, but its 0 to hero form is where it really shines. I think it's really awesome, and it's just such a cool Pokemon that gets basically the base stat, like the attack of Slacking without Truant, which is insane. It gets access to a lot of really cool stuff. The only downside is that you can't send it out and have it be automatically in that form. You do have to switch it out, which it does get access to Flip Turn, which, fun fact, when the games first came out, I figured that you had to use Flip Turn in order to do that at all. But luckily you don't, You just have to switch it out. So you can come right in. I've seen some people use like red card and stuff too. So immediately when they get their stats lowered, they just eject out, kind of like eject button, but with red card, I believe, is with eject buttons with attack. Red card is with stat lowering, I believe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, so Palafin is just really cool. Obviously, get stuff like Ice Punch. It does get access to stuff like Close Combat, Drain Punch, Bulk Up. A lot of that really cool. So if we don't want to run like a Choice Band set, we could just go other ways. But it does get access to stuff like Wave Crash and like a signature move Jet Punch, which is just like a really like a better Aqua Jet, like priority. And it's just insane and like knocks out a lot of stuff. So I'm really, really excited about this Pokemon. I really wanted this as our tier 1, and we did end up getting it. So yeah, I'm very excited to use this guy in drafts, and I hope you guys are excited to see Willie as well. I think overall this will be really, really good. Now the next pickup on this list is as a Pokemon that I wasn't planning on drafting. So like I said, unfortunately by the time it got back to us, a lot of good tier 2s had already been taken. And there were 2 Pokemon in specific that I was looking to get, or at least one of them, in both Ceruledge and Maushold. And unfortunately, Ceruledge was sniped from us about 3 or 4 picks before me in this round, and Maushold was sniped literally 1 pick before me. Granted, I didn't end up picking Maushold that round. I actually went with Iron Thorns because I really like that Pokemon. I was really excited to try and use it. But that's only because I did not get Ceruledge, and I wanted another really good Pokemon. But then when Maushold was also taken from me, I kind of panicked a little bit, and I went into this draft league with having that mindset of being able to do what we did in the last 2 draft leagues, which is where I kind of went in with no plan whatsoever and just pick a Pokemon when it came in, right? Which is what I was going to do with Ceruledge and what I was going to do with Maushold. It's what I was planning on doing, but unfortunately it didn't work out. And those 2 were not the only 2 Pokemon that were sniped from us in the draft. We actually had 2 other Pokemon sniped from us later in the draft in both Bisharp, which I was really sad about, and then we actually had Squawkabilly sniped from me, which is a Pokemon that I really wanted like 2 picks before us, and that was as a Q. So we had so many Pokemon sniped from us in this, I really just felt like unfortunately we can no longer go at this point in the draft. Well, this was after our 3rd pick. I decided to go from that to go into a style where I planned out the draft, planned out a strategy, and it was easier at that point to, instead of just picking Pokemon willy-nilly, because if I did that, it was just going to end up being an amalgamation of just Pokemon that I wanted to use but didn't really work out to me. At this point, if I created a strategy, it was going to be easier to just find a replacement Pokemon that does the same thing as the Pokemon that was sniped from us. So I thought that was going to be a lot easier to do rather than, anything else. So I ended up dropping Iron Thorns almost right after I picked it because I decided that I needed a fire type or a Pokemon that got access to a lot of good fire type moves instead of Ceruledge because we still needed a fire type. Spoiler, we didn't draft a fire type in this entire draft. Not that I think we really need it, but we do have a really good option as our tier 2 for a good fire type Pokemon and potentially stab, and that is Slitherwing. We got Flare the Slitherwing. Now, as you can see, there's a T next to his name. In this league, we are not letting any Pokemon be able to Terastallize into any type willy-nilly. Only 2 Pokemon on our team have the ability to Terastallize, right? They're called Terra Captains, right? 2 Pokemon we have that we assigned after the draft are able to Terastallize. We can change it, but it does require us using one of our 5 transactions in the season. We can change it anytime we want, but it does require that. Now, Slitherwing I think is really good, and it does get access. He is one of our 2 Terra Captains, which can Terastallize into any typing we want. But it is one of the only 2 Pokemon on our entire team that can. But it does get access to stuff like Flare Blitz and Flame Charge. Us being able to Terastallize into a fire type and be able to get rid of the 4 times weakness to flying is really good and lets us hit stuff for stab with Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz is already really good alone, and I don't know if I'll ever Terra Fire because of the fact that Flare Blitz is going to kill anything that we really need to kill. But honestly, being both bug and fighting lets us hit two of the typings that fire hit super effectively, and steel and grass. Really, the only other thing we would need fire for is being able to hit bug. And, that's right, bug and ice. Well, no, fighting hits ice too, so really, it's just bug. So honestly, any place where we're going to need to use Flare Blitz, we might need a Trash Slice for, but we might actually not. So honestly, like, and we have other Pokemon that can take care of bug types, so even running like a non-Terra Fire Flare Blitz is still pretty good. But we do have access to other stuff like Close Combat. We have access to stuff like First Impression, which Choice Band First Impression is insane. Of course, that does require you to immediately switch out. And, but that is an option that we have, which I think is really, really cool, because First Impression is a really, really strong move, and Choice Band Terrestrialized Bug is really good. Now, Fighting is also a really good typing, like I said, does get access, I believe it gets access to Bulk Up. It does get access to Close Combat, which is really, really big. I wish this thing, it's a Volcarona, and it's a Bug type. Even like, what is it, Iron Moth isn't even a Bug type, right? It's Fire type, but not a Bug type. But this one is a Bug type. He should get access to Quiver Dance. The fact that it doesn't is actually really sad. Maybe because it has such a high base stat total. So it's just insane. It's just very, very much insane, and it's just I wish it got Quiver Dance, but it just doesn't. So. But that is okay. So, like I said, these next two, like this pick and the next one, are both basically just to make up for the fact that I didn't get Zero Edge, but I still wanted a Ghost type, right? And I know Ghost types in this generation are not as good as they have been, within the fact that all four of the ruins in this game are all Dark types, right? Chi-Yu and Qian-Pao can both hit Ghost types really hard with Stab, Dark Pulse, and Crunch, respectively. You know, obviously they all have access to Ruination. Ting Lu was drafted, but the other one, the only other one I hadn't picked yet. I'm still getting used to these names. Yeah, Chi-Yu and Qian-Pao had already been taken. Ting Lu had been taken, but I can see it. The little snail one. I can't think of what his name is right now. He was not drafted. But a lot of them can still hit us with Dark type attacks, meaning that because of these Pokemon are so popular, that Ghost types in general are just not as good. However, I still wanted a really good Ghost type, and I haven't used this Pokemon in draft. I've used it plenty competitive before, but I've never used it in draft specifically. And honestly, I'm a little nervous about drafting it just because of how prominent Dark types are in this generation, with both King Gambit and Bisharp. Even though King Gambit hadn't been drafted at the time of this video, somebody could obviously drop it and pick up King Gambit. But Bisharp had been drafted. Like I said, it was supposed to be on our team, but unfortunately it was not. And which, okay, it's a 4x weakness, so it's like, it is what it is. But with all the Dark type moves being so common, and a lot of Pokemon getting access to like Crunch and stuff like that, obviously Ghost types aren't as good. But I decided that it was in our best interest to have something a little bit more fast on the team, and that is Malik the Gengar. I really, really like Gengar. Gengar is a really, really dope Pokemon, and I'm really glad that we got this. It is a Ghost type, right? Obviously getting access to a lot of different stuff. It does get access to the Toxic Spikes in this generation, so if we even want to run like a Fast Sash Toxic Spike set, I basically run two main Gengar sets. I'm not going to say it in this video because I know a lot of the guys in the server are going to be watching, but we tend to run like two main Gengar sets in our videos, and I really enjoy using Gengar. It can be run really fast, it can hit really hard, it gets access to stuff like Sludge Bomb, does not get access to Sludge Wave anymore, or was it Gunk Shot? It was one of the two that it doesn't get access. I think it was Sludge Wave that it lost access, which is not as bad in doubles as it is in singles. But we got Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, gets access to like Thunderbolt, a lot of that stuff, like Will-O-The-Wisp. It gets access to Focus Blast, it gets access to Toxic, it gets access to a lot of stuff, which is really, really cool. It does get access to Destiny Bond too, which is actually a really, really, really good ability as well. So, or ability move to get. So that's a really, really cool cheeky move we could run at some point if we're not like choiced in any way. I really, really like it. So, but yeah, The next one up on this list, this is when I started to kind of plan out the draft a little bit. And because two really heavy hitters that I wanted in Serial Legend Household had been taken from me at this point, I had looked at myself and I was like, all right. I'm not usually the type of person that wants to spend 500 points, or 300 of our 500 points on another tier 1. I don't like doing that because then we have to pick a lot more tier 4s at the end. However, there were a few tier 4s that I was looking at, so I felt like going for another tier 1 wouldn't be that bad. Plus, I wanted something else that is strong, right? That hits hard. A Pokemon that would make our opponents fear us, right? We already have Palafin for that. But because it is limited in the fact that it can't just come in and do something, it does have to come in and then come back and then leave and then come back in to actually do something really strong. I wanted something that, you know, would come in and be a threat. No matter when it came in, it would be a threat to something on the field. And that is why I decided that I was going to pick our boy, spend 300 points on a tier 1 to pick our boy, Swords Master, the Iron Valiant. Now, personally, I love Iron Valiant. It is my favorite Paradox form, and it is my favorite shiny Paradox form, and the fact that it goes all silver but the pink on its blades still stay pink. I think that's so cool. I think a combination of Gardevoir and Gallade is such a sick Pokemon in general. I really felt like it was in our best interest to draft something that hits this hard, right? This thing hits all of the ruins for super effective. It hits Roaring Moon for super effective, which had already been picked. So this thing is just going to be able to come in, and it does obviously, unfortunately, have to get access to, have to have the ability that it has, the one with the electric terrain type of boost. So it does not get anything that will really, I mean, we don't have anything, I mean, we have a Pokemon that gets electric terrain, but not one that automatically sets it up, which honestly, I think the only one that currently does that is Pincurchin, which I was not drafting Pincurchin, I'm sorry. Just for Iron Valiant. So honestly, we can run Booster Energy if we want to, as well as even like a Choice Band or a Choice Spec set, since it has like base, 120 attack and 110 special attack or something like that. Like it's only like 10 base points that it's in difference. So, but it does get access to stuff like Focus Blast, Aura Sphere, Thunderbolts. Obviously gets access to. Obviously does get access to stuff like Play Rough and Close Combat and Dazzling Gleam and all that stuff. So I really think this thing is going to be a really cool addition to the team, and I'm really excited about it. But so like I said, when it came, this was back to us. 2 other people picked, 3 other Pokemon had been gone, but there was one that I wanted specifically next that was going to work out well with a lot of Pokemon on our team, including Palafin and 2 other Pokemon that I had yet to draft, one being Squawkabilly, but unfortunately Squawkabilly was sniped from us. So because of that, we had 2 Pokemon that 2 more Pokemon that we did end up getting that this Pokemon would have worked well for. But honestly, I was a little nervous about drafting it this early in the draft because of the fact that it only relied on the fact of us getting these other 2 Pokemon. And if we didn't get these other 2 Pokemon, it wouldn't really be that good. It wouldn't work as well. It would still be good. But it was a tier 3, and being for a tier 3, I knew that it was going to get scooped up. And it actually, somebody attempted to scoop it up a couple turns after I had picked it because it hadn't been updated on the dock yet. So I'm glad that we got it, and that is our boy, Pouches the Raichu. I'm really excited. Obviously, gets access to Lightning Rod, which is the biggest thing, right? Now, I have in previous seasons drafted Jolteon, which gets Volt Absorb, which I could have done that, but at the same time, I wanted a Lightning Rod because the difference is that in double battles, you have to pick the right Pokemon that they're going for. So I can leave Palafin and 2 of the other Pokemon that we had drafted in and just bring in Raichu, and our entire team is immune to electric-type moves as long as Raichu is on the field. Not having to worry about switching into that perfect Pokemon is just really good. It also hits really hard with stuff like Thunder, but it does get access to like Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, Extreme Speed if I want to run physical, Volt Switch, Grass Knot. So it's just, overall, it's just really good Pokemon. And I think it's really strong, and I'm really excited to use it on the team. I think that's going to play a really big role in making us not have to worry about electric-type moves for a couple more Pokemon. Even though there's not, like, a lot of really good electric-type Pokemon that have been drafted, except for, like, Iron Hands.
which had been drafted, so that's going to be pretty scary. But we don't have to worry about Thunder Punches because we have our boy Pouches here, who's just going to be like, give me that hand, and I'm just going to like scoop it up and eat it. Like, it ain't going to happen. Like, it ain't going to touch him. It's just going to like touch him and then make him more powerful. It's basically like Storm Drain, but for electric type moves, which is just really cool. So now the next Pokemon when it come back to me, it was going to be Bisharp, but unfortunately it wasn't, and we needed another Steel type. I felt like I needed a Steel type because of the fact that it resists so many Pokemon, and I decided that fortunately enough, I was going to go for another Steel type, and I felt like we needed something faster, right? Our team was already like not super fast. I mean, Palafin doesn't have like a super high speed stat. It's got like a mid speed tier. Slitherwing is slow. Gengar can be run pretty fast. Iron Valiant can also be run pretty fast. Raichu has got about a mid speed tier. But I was thinking, what other Steel type in tier 3 could I go for? And that is actually, I would not have thought that I would have went for it, but it is our boy Nitro the Rivaroom. I think Rivaroom is cool. This does give us another poison type, which I don't love, and it is a 4 times weakness to ground, which is a really prominent typing. But this thing being just ungodly fast is really nice for our team. And also get access to stuff like Spin Out. Or, yeah, is it Spin Out? Is that a signature move? I think that's what it's called. It's just really, really good in general. So I'm really, really excited about using this thing. I didn't think I would be as much, but it is really cool. It does get access to like Toxic Spikes as well. Sludge Bomb, Iron Head, Shift Gear, which is really cool if we want to raise our attack and speed. Is just really, really nice. I really like this Pokemon in general more than I thought. So, and I have a shiny one too, which is just really awesome in the game. So honestly, I think this thing is really cool, and I'm really excited about using it. I don't really have too much to say about this one, other than the fact that it just hits really hard, or it's really fast and hits hard with Spin Out, and I think Shift Gear is also a really, really good move for this thing. So, yeah. But yeah, so we needed at this point. I just tier 4s were starting to be picked, and I almost picked Squawkabilly here, but I decided that I was not going to pick Squawkabilly, and I was going to pick the other tier 4 that I wanted, that I felt like was going to go faster. And unfortunately, Squawkabilly went, and I should have picked that first, but I didn't. I ended up going with our boy Drillbit the Dunsparce. Now, I know what you're thinking. The Dunsparce. Why would you pick the Dunsparce, right? Realistically, it's a very disappointing Pokemon. The fact that we waited so long for an evolution for Dunsparce and we just get a bigger Dunsparce with another body, it's like they just took 2 Dunsparces and just human centipeded them. Like, that's what it looks like. But honestly, if you take out the fact that this is a disappointing evolution, I think it's a cool Pokemon, right? I like the Pokemon. I like the design. If it was not, if Dunsparce didn't exist and this was just the Dunsparce, or it was like a regional variant, I would be disappointed that this is what we got. But it's a decent design, right? And it's just really cool. It's got Serene Grace, but the big thing is that it's ungodly bulky, right? This thing is super bulky, and I felt like, honestly, in the scheme of things, it was easier to find a replacement for Squawkabilly, as it would not have been as easy to find another really good tier 4 bulky normal type. I really like having bulky normal type, especially because only fighting hits them for super effective, and they are immune to Ghost. So in general, just having one of these things that not really anything hits them super effectively except for fighting. Granted, it doesn't really resist anything except for what, normal types? I don't even think it resists normal types. So I felt like having that was actually really big for us, and I'm really excited about using it. I think it's going to be really good. Obviously, also Iron Valiant is our other Terra Captain. I don't know if I mentioned that. I unfortunately did not have enough room to put the T after it on every one of these. I don't know why I didn't. I apologize for that. But Iron Valiant is our other Terra Captain. Because it can obviously do what it does best, Terra translates into different typings. But overall, I just really like the Dunsparce, and I think that having the Serene Grace with stuff like Headbutt, getting like the extra chance for a flinch, is just really, really good altogether. And this thing obviously gets Body Slam, it gets Glare, it gets Coil, which is really cool. It gets access to stuff like Flamethrower, I think, too. But just this thing is really good. I like it very much, and I'm very excited about using it. That's the bottom line. Now, the next one up on this list is another tier 4. And maybe it's just the fact that I've spent like 2 weeks trying to shiny hunt it and I still haven't got it. But I really like this Pokemon, and I didn't like it at first, but it's grown on me. And that is our boy, Eugene the Cloth. Now, Cloth it's Cloth, right? When this Pokemon was first introduced, I did not like it. I did not like this Pokemon when it was first introduced. But after the fact, I actually really... It grew on me. The design grew on me, and I really like it, right? Anger Shell is a pretty broken ability, giving us basically a free Shell Smash. I think it's really, really nice. And overall, it's just really, really good. It's just... I don't think it'd be really, really good, but it does get access to, like, Swords Dance, Stone Edge, Crab Hammer, Knockoff, a lot of that kind of stuff. So, it's just really, really good. I think this one will be also pretty situational, but I'm really glad that we got it. It was one that I really wanted, and, yeah, I mean, just... getting a free Anger Shell is really cool. Coming on a physical type move, get our Anger Shell and proceed to attempt to sweep, even though it doesn't have a very big speed stat, so its speed boost is giving it like a decent speed tier at the end of the day instead of like a high one or outspeeding everything. So, but yeah. The next one up on this list is actually one that I wasn't attempting to get at first, but I thought that it would be a really, really good Pokemon because I wanted some speed control on the team, and I wanted a Sticky Web Pokemon. And I also wanted a Quiver Dance Pokemon. And there's only very few Pokemon in the game that get access to both of that. So that's why I decided that it would be also in our best interest to draft our boy, Majora the Masquerade, right? I think Masquerade's a pretty cool Pokemon. I think it's pretty cute. I like it. I like it a lot. Like I said, it does get access to Sticky Webs. Also gets access to Quiver Dance, which is awesome. Gets access to Hydro Pump, which is really nice. Is if somebody wants to come in and hit us with a fire type move, we can hit them with a really, really fast Hydro Pump instead. Overall, it does get access to stuff like Stun Spore, which is really cool. I can't remember if the thing gets access to Defog. I don't think it does, but it doesn't really matter too much because of another Pokemon we drafted. But overall, it just gets really, really good. I like this thing in general. I don't know how much we're going to be using it. This might be like a Butterfree situation where I drafted it in hopes that it was going to be a really cool Quiver Dance, Sticky Web setter, and then just have it do nothing. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we can come in and Majora will be really, really good for us. But yeah. So we are down to the last 2 rounds, right? At this point, it was really scraping thin. I knew what I wanted for my second to last Pokemon. My last one, I had no idea. But for a second to last one is I was looking at ice types, right? I really wanted an ice types because of a lot of the good dragon types that have been going around, like Dragonite, Garchomp had gone, Hydreigon also went, Roaring Moon, like I said. So having a good ice type was really cool. But I was trying to think of what I wanted. I was looking at Abomasnow, that went. I was also looking at Glaceon. But honestly, there was one I wanted more than anything, even though it doesn't have as high of an attack as Glaceon did. Ice types are so situational, and the fact that they are very good offensively, but not defensively, right? They only resist themselves. It's like, they're really, really not good. So I thought getting a very situational ice type Pokemon that I've never really used before that I think would be cool would be really nice. So I decided, and your guys are never going to guess who I picked, but I decided I was going to go with our boy, Penguin the Ice Cube, right? That was a tier 3. I think it's really cool. Sorry that it thinks that Penguin is not a word. It is a word, and it's his name, god damn it! But I think it's just really cool in general, right? Ice Face is a really dummy busted ability, being basically like Mimikyu's ability in the fact that it takes no damage. Well, Mimikyu takes what is it, 15% of the damage now, 5%, something like that. But this takes no damage from the first physical type attack, right? So we bring this thing in on a physical type Pokemon, or if there's 2 physical type Pokemon we come in, takes a hit, it belly drums up, and proceeds to sweep. Because this thing is decently fast. It's faster than you would expect. It also gets stuff, access to stuff like Ice Spinner. It gets access to stuff like Ice Shard. It gets access to Liquidation, Aqua Jet. A bunch of just really good moves in general. I thought about making this thing a Terra Captain, but honestly, we already have Palafin. We don't need another Water type. So overall, I think this thing is just really good in general. I really like it. I'm actually really excited about using this thing, I think it might be better than I thought. So yeah. Now for our last round pick, we needed something to fill Squawkabilly's spot. Now looking at the tier 4s, there really wasn't too much. I actually was debating on Tropius at one point. It went before our last pick, but I decided not to go with Tropius just because of the fact that it doesn't really get as big of a move pool as I would want. But also, we already have bulky Pokemon. I wanted something that was going to be a little bit versatile, right? So, and I wanted an Intimidator. I think that would have been really good. So I decided, and you also are not going to see this one coming because this wasn't even on the list, right? This is a Eviolite Pokemon, and that is our boy Perch the Staravia, right? Like, come on. Staravia and Staraptor are two dummy awesome Pokemon. I love those Pokemon so much. I love the whole Starly, Staravia, Staraptor line. I think it's just a really, really cool Pokemon. Very nostalgic for me, especially from like the anime and just the whole arc with, Staravia learning Brave Bird and everything. It's just very, very awesome. I very much enjoy that. So I'm very excited to use this thing. Like I said, it does get access to Intimidate, so really decently bulky with the Eviolite. But also, I picked it because of two moves, right? And that's Tailwind and Defog, yes. So, this being one of the only Pokemon that did not lose access to either one of those moves. Because a lot of Pokemon actually lost access to both either Defog or Tailwind. So this thing actually getting access to both is really well. If this thing just wants to come in, Tailwind up, Defog away, defog away stupid little hazards. As you can tell, our team definitely does not like hazards, right? We do have a grounded poison type, so we don't have to worry about we have two grounded poison types. We don't have to worry about toxic spikes as much, but we do have to worry about like stealth rock stuff like this. Even a heavy duty boot set would be kind of cool coming from this thing. But yeah. So that is our team, guys. That is our team. We have Palafin, Slitherwing, which is a Terra Captain, Gengar, Raichu, Reverie, Masquerain, Dunsparce, Iron Valiant, which is our other Terra Captain, Cloth, Ice Cube, and Staraptor. I really want to know what you guys think of the team. Let me know down below what you guys think about it. Let me know if you think that any of the Pokemon are not as good as I think they are. But honestly, I really like this team in general. A lot of Pokemon that I have never used competitively, right? I've never really used Slitherwing competitively, never used Reverie, Masquerain, Dunsparce, Cloth, Ice Cube, or Staravia. Really, the only ones I've ever have any I've used before is Palafin, Gengar, Raichu, and Iron Valiant. Like, those are the only ones that I know for a fact I've used. So, the other ones, I've not really had that much experience, except for in random battles. So, hopefully, they'll be a lot better than I thought. We might make some transactions. Of course, we have 5 to make this entire season, unless we want to switch to Terra Captain, because that's also one. So, granted, there's not too many other Pokemon, since the amount of Pokemon that can be drafted is lower. But, yeah, that's our team, guys. And that is our draft analysis for Season 4 of the NPBA. Next week, there will be a video of us for our first week, which looks like it'll be against the Squirtle Squad and actually my cousin. So that'll be pretty cool. So a little bit of a rematch from the first week of last season as well. So let me know what you guys think about the team down below. Like I said, leave a like if you guys did enjoy this, and make sure you guys are subscribed so you do not miss the triumphant return of our videos, as well as the return of the NPBA, right? I'm so excited for this, guys. I really am. But other than that, guys, that is going to be it for me. So like I say at the end of every video, I am the Nitro General. I really hope you guys did enjoy. I'll talk to you in the next one. Nitro General's out. Peace.